That's not what I meant. Oh man, that is just off the wall bad. We just had one of our guests on, Jason Fry, talking about the Celtics are going to win their 19th championship. So what have you got to say about that?
Who this Jason Fry character is? He was talking about doing hard shit. Well, his prediction is bullshit. Okay, all right.
I have a feeling we're about to be joined by Sir George. He normally comes out of the black hole. Oh, there he is. Sir George. He is back.
Hey, what's up?
Well, I just want to say, are...
Hey, Jerry. Hey, Jerry. I just saw Jerry. Hey, Jerry. You said, well, this ain't your number one. You're number one, Jerry. Number one.
Oh, my God. We're moving on. We've killed the Cowboys. Matter of fact, get out. I'm tired of talking to you. Give me freaking JJ. Bring JJ on the show. Holy crap. Let's hear his opinion about this damn trade and why they made this decision. I think you're trying to cover your own ass right now and just not
country of ninth in the country.
I think you're just trying to cover your ass right now. And don't.
You know what? I got a big ass, so
that's a lot of
cover. It take a blanket, damn it.
More like a drape.
Did you just pull a drape? Is that so I can open it up when I need to go? You know,
hey, you're getting too deep into this. Rivalries make sports great, but they got to be on the same level. And I'm sorry, Angel Reese ain't on the level of Caitlin Clark. Like, it's not Magic Bird.
If you don't want to commit to it, take your ass and be a PE all-star.
First off, you need to get your facts effing straight.
How do you like me now? What? You're the coach. Shut up, dude. All you haters, shut the hell up. Just shut the hell up.
Whoa.
I won 5 Super Bowls, damn it. How dare you call the Cowboys a shit team? Watch the Cowboys. It'll be fun, they said. Bloody fucking hell, it was no fun.
It was like riding a train around one of the Kardashians' asses, and you just disappear into this abyss of ass. Somehow he talked about buttholes that made me hungry for a PBJ sandwich. It's 35-7. And it's only 7 because you just scored. Shut up.
And they're playing with sticks. And they're playing with a little puck all the time.
Expert analysis right there. They play with sticks and pucks.
Trying to grow the game, man. Global game.
These people, they don't give a damn.
Well, I don't really know, but it drives me nuts. You're almost going to laugh. I can see it. Almost fixing to lose it. It drives me nuts.
Oh, man.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody!
Well, folks. Heidi-ho, neighbors. We are back. I am over my stomach bug, and we're back in, with fashion because, we're late to the game. I was fooling around with some things and forgot I took the intro video off, so we went live without an intro video, so I fixed it real quick. So, but yes, the self-proclaimed.
So you mess it up.
Hey,
you mess it up.
Hey, self-proclaimed. That's why we're self-proclaimed best in the podcast game. That's all I'll say. That you know what I mean. But if you are new to the show, I am Casey the Remix Schedule. The bald and the beautiful below me, as his name states, is Eddie the Original Schedule. And we like to start the show with a joke. And I'm going to let you go first, but I have one as well this particular week. So we are not comedians, and this is our evidence of why we're not comedians. So go ahead, hit the people.
Why we're not comedians. Well, you Need to fend for yourself there. All right, so why? Once again, it's a riddle. Why do crabs never volunteer?
Why do
Why
crabs
do crabs?
volunteer?
Yes.
They're always in a crabby mood.
Close, because they're shellfish.
Oh,
Bada boom, shellfish.
nice. All right, I'm still not making me talk, or laugh, I should say. Is this going to be another week where I can't get my words right? You know what I mean? You remember last 2 weeks ago, I couldn't talk all night. But here is mine. So, what do you call a blonde that is still in the closet?
Lost.
No, last year's hide and seek champion.
Yeah, but she's still the reigning hide and seek champion is Bigfoot. Means never been beat.
What does that have to do with the joke? That you're just trying to take away shine from my joke on that one. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, sure. I think you're picking on blondes. I like blondes.
Well, that's all you cheer for these days, apparently. So
No, that's not true. We will, even though I have a script here that you put together. And ladies, there is nothing on here about the WNBA.
yeah,
But don't you worry.
It's irrelevant
I
right
got your back.
It's irrelevant.
I got your back,
The
ladies.
WNBA is irrelevant now.
No, it's not.
Yes, the only headlines that league has gotten is their commissioner saying Caitlin Clark should be grateful that she's getting sponsorships because of us, and and the officiating is that bad. It has nothing to do with the gameplay. No one cares that they're still playing other than
game
old guys
5
like for Sophie Cunningham
in Las Vegas last night.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll talk about that in our tidbits section because that's all it is, a footnote.
It is not. You need to give the lady some love.
What? It's not entertaining anymore.
Yes, it is. It was very entertaining. They had a packed stadium. There were people going down from Indiana left and right. And this team that is made of nothing but people who are not the stars, playing the MVP of the league, playing the person who's setting records over and over, push them to overtime. But I'll save it because I don't want to get into it. I'm excited.
You just told the whole thing.
And what's crazy is last year, I had your same attitude. I didn't care. It wasn't a big deal.
We all know you fell in love with Sophie Cunningham and America.
It is not just Sophie Cunningham.
You liked your post when you called them the America's WNBA team and all this. Okay,
they are America's team of the WNBA. Yes, they
There's
are.
There's a reason why you turn
the highest following
in the state of Texas.
Back in stadiums, and their best players are on the bench because they're
great
hurt.
For fans like you and your little bubble. But
you are such a hypocrite.
Why?
Because last year you were promoting them. You were talking about it. It's even in our intro. I'm sorry, but Angel Reese is not on the same level as Caitlin Clark. You were the one promoting it last year. So I was talking about. What do you do? I get on board the ship and you jump off. That's what happens.
There's only one of us.
This is what I deal with. You need to move that little dumpster fire up to you because it's a dumpster fire to you.
Face for a second. I talked about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark because it was a hot story. I talked about Caitlin Clark last year because she was the biggest story in sports. Guess what? They're not the biggest story in sports anymore. They're irrelevant.
Who is that? Who's the biggest story in sports right now?
The NFL, college football, the Cowboys, the Aggies. Mike is coming back.
Don't try to pick the sport. I said, who is the biggest story? Because you just said people in a people sense.
No, I did not say that.
Because
I picked the biggest sports story.
WNBA. Who is the biggest story in sports right now?
Right now, it's Shedeur Sanders as the third quarterback on the Cleveland Browns if you turn on the television.
Really?
Yes. And that's all
more,
they covered for 45 minutes on your favorite show on Get Up.
Why you got to pick on Greenberg and all that?
I'm not picking on him. You asked me to ask the question.
You act like if it's my favorite show, then it's not good. Greenberg's been around a hell of a lot longer than you.
I didn't say the show wasn't good. Like, quit trying to put words in my mouth. That's not what I said. I said your favorite.
We can't understand the words coming out of your mouth.
Obviously, you don't, because half the time I got to repeat what the hell I'm saying and clarify.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
Holy crikey! What a way to start the show tonight.
Watch your language. You're wearing a Jesus hat.
Watch
your language. You're wearing a Jesus hat.
I love Jesus, but I cuss a little and I drink a little whiskey.
I don't want to see you get struck by lightning. Your head catch on fire.
Oh my God! You totally threw the show off with this bull honky crap you're pulling. Anyways, folks, welcome TikTok. This is what we do, by the way. I guess as you can say that. Yeah, ridiculousness going on right now.
It's almost disappointing as a tie.
Well, thank you for saving the segue there, I guess. All right, let's get into here's the rundown, folks. We got Cowboys, the 40-40 club, trade rumors with the Cowboys right now as well. We also got the Houston, Texas status, NFL roundabouts. We got what struck our eye the last couple weeks. I know the old man held down the show by himself last week, and he failed miserably at it, but hey, he tried.
What do you mean I failed?
I'm just kidding, dude. Calm down. You take things so personal. It's a joke. It's a joke.
I'm leaving. No, I'm just kidding.
I wouldn't doubt it, just to piss me off. We got Astros. We have to say goodbye to B. Boach. B. Boach has left being the manager of the Texas Rangers.
Left the building.
Yes, he has. And we got college football orientation. What's going on there? We got new versus old, a new segment here. I'm going to get the old man's opinions on what he would pick new versus old. We're going to start with Texas teams here. And then we got making most of your moments from the old man. And then we got our sports tidbits, randoms, our whiskey of the week, and then we'll close it out after that. But all right, the Dallas Cowboys. Most of America truly believe that. We also got picks with pops thrown in there as well. I forgot to put that on the rundown, but picks with pops. That'll be before our NFL tidbits. But all right, everyone around the country was pretty much saying this is going to be a blowout. I thought it was too. Green Bay was looking good. Dallas was coming off that horrific performance of the Chicago Bears, which you and I both picked them to beat the Bears. Wasn't a good pick by us, obviously. But at the end of the day, they give Green Bay a fight. I was actually impressed with what the Cowboys did. But a 40-40 tie. I'm not going to say it's like kissing your sister because that never made sense to me. I'm going to say it's more like kissing your ex. It just ain't right anymore. And neither are ties, okay? That's all I'm going to say. So what do you think about the game and the flow? And I mean, we really have George Pickens stepped up. We have issues on defense. Give us your impressions of the offense first from last week.
Well, yeah, because the defense is easy because no one freaking showed up. But okay, so yes, sign Pickens now. Re-sign him now. Let's not do this again, Jarrah, because he proved his worth. I mean, the one touchdown where he caught it on the sideline, did the spin move, and got into the end zone. Dude, we haven't had that type of effort in a while. And that is what we need. And I got to give it out to Teague, too, with the catch on the sideline, because that was a hope and a prayer that Dak threw up.
Who?
And
No, not T.
Tolbert?
Sorry, I just reverted back to the 1995 Cowboys.
You mean Tolbert?
Tolbert. Tolbert.
All
Couldn't
right.
think of his name. Why did Teague? I don't know why Teague was in my head. But that catch was remarkable. The one Pickens made just on the other side of the hash marks, the same thing. Um, and Dak just does what Dak does. You know, he's playing. To me, he's playing as he's the best quarterback in the league, in my opinion, right now. The way he's playing, and
Yeah,
he's
I'm gonna let you
my
keep going, but I just want to emphasize that catch by Tolbert, the throw by Dak was phenomenal there. He was going backwards off his back leg. That was all arm. That was all arm on a dime right there. It was obviously a great toe touch catch, but you're right. Dak is. I mean, if this team finishes above 500, I think he has to be in the MVP conversation. But I could continue your points about the offense, but man, Dak is playing out of his mind.
Well, and we have something else this year. We have a running game, and this is, Williams. I'm extremely impressed. I think he gets better every week as his confidence starts to build. Um, so that to me is one of the biggest differences in there, even not having CD in there. But what I thought was cool, if you watch some of the highlights, they showed, and you'll see it on X somewhere, but CD is on the sideline before that big Pickens catch, talking about they're pressing him. This going to be, he said, watch it. And he said this to the guy next to him, watch this, dog. It's going to be a 30-yard touchdown because he's pressing Pickens. But no one could press him. And he called it, even though Pickens didn't get it in the end zone, he still caught it on the 1 yard line. But the good thing about the Cowboys offense this year, if they get within the 5, we're pretty sure we're going to score. So, because now we have a running game. On the defensive side of the ball, it's still damn ridiculous. Now, I got to say that Diggs finally stepped up toward the end of the game. He was making tackles. He was on his guy, and it looked like they got more into some man coverage. But and quite frankly, I feel bad that Hooker went down. But Wilson came in and actually, to me, played a lot better than Hooker's been playing. I think Wilson should be the starter back there as the safety because he seemed to be in the right position most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time.
You're talking about Donovan Wilson?
Yes.
They start next to each other.
Well, he had to take his spot because Hooker.
Yeah, he slid over and they put the other guy at the other safety position.
As soon as that happened,
Donovan Wilson is a starter already.
As soon as it happened, though, and that's what I'm talking about, him moving to that side of the ball. As soon as it happened, the defensive secondary seemed to clamp down a lot more. And that, even though the defense is still atrocious, the runs to the outside, the screen passes, it's just, I still think our Achilles heel, which obviously is defense, but we were getting pressure on the quarterback. When we did that, we did fairly well, but the defense is still the Achilles heel. Offense, man, when CD's back at full strength and all this, it just keeps getting better and better. But they're going to have to score 30 and 40 points because they're going to give up that many.
Yeah, we already talked about Dak. Pickens' performance, I want to see more before I get to that level of sign him now. I think we all know the talent was there. I want to make sure that's sustainable with this system and with CD when he comes back, which, by the way, I wasn't on the show last week. What an idiotic thing to do. Did you have an issue? I had a major issue with Schottenheimer handing the ball off in the backfield to CeeDee Lamb. I thought that was a massive mistake.
I talked about it. Okay. He's not a damn running back.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I basically had food poisoning last week, so I wasn't able to watch the show. So I felt that was a major mistake on Schottenheimer. I know he's saying we're trying to get the ball in the hands of our playmakers, but back to Pickens, I want to see him be a 1A guy when CD is healthy and making an impact in the game when CD's healthy and when he's not the only option. 2 weeks ago, I thought Ferguson stepped up. I didn't really see, he did. I think he did catch a touchdown in the game, but other than that, he was somewhat missing. But the defense is Swiss cheese. I'm very disappointed in Jack Sanborn and our linebackers as a whole. I thought that was going to be somewhat of a strength of the team to be holding it down until Overshown got back. And Bland didn't look like himself. I know he was playing through a pain tolerance injury, so I expect him to be better. Diggs almost had his first pick. That got called back on a defensive penalty, but I thought he looked better than he did 2 weeks ago. So the defense is still looking Swiss cheeses. I don't even. That was
Jesus.
Yeah, like Swiss
Jesus.
I was trying to say ish on the end of Swiss cheese. Go ahead, folks, try it. It'll be rough.
Swiss cheeses.
Yeah. See, it just doesn't fit right. It was a terrible attempt by myself. But yeah, the Cowboys, man, because of these issues they're having on defense, I'm starting to see rumors about a guy from one of your favorite teams coming into the season. Now, I think that's cooled a little bit. But the rumors are starting to go around about Max Crosby from the Raiders. And
where are you hearing this? I looked for that. I didn't.
Dude. It's all over.
Where?
I mean, I'm not going to put my Twitter in the middle of a live stream, but I saw it in like 6, 7, 8, 9 different places. So there's rumors of, and they're like at Max Crosby. So there's rumors that he's not necessarily happy there. Cowboys have the capital to make that happen. He's a traditional. I think he's a overall better player than Michael Parsons. Personally, he's not faster than him, but I think he's a better pass rusher. I think he's a better run defender, and that would be a move. That would be a championship move that I would like to see when it comes to good old Jerry Jones. That type of move would make sense. So
there's the problem. There's the problem. There's the problem. That type of move would make sense. There's where it's not going to happen because it would make the most sense. So, and that's not what Jera is going to do.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. And I don't think it'll happen, but it would be a smart move in my opinion. But before we go to break, the Cowboys got the Jets next weekend. I know we'll predict we kind of probably going to give away some of our picks, but it's the Jets. I think this could be a get-right game, but the only thing that scares me in this particular game is Justin Fields and his scrambling ability. And you saw it with the Eagles and Jalen Hurts. You've seen it with any quarterback that can move a little bit against the Cowboys defense. That part of it scared. I mean, I don't know if you saw his run from Sunday. Justin Fields, that was a hell of a play, a la shades of Michael Vick right there. He just had the dude turning and gets into the end zone. So is anything about the Jets concern you about this upcoming weekend?
That's just to what your point you just talked about. We already proved we couldn't corral Jalen Hurts, and I'm not putting Justin Fields in the same light as Hurts, but when it comes to scrambling ability, the Cowboys have struggled with that with a mobile quarterback, and I mean the Jets with him in the lineup, and I'm not a Fields hater. I think he's actually could be a really good quarterback in the right system. I don't think that was happening when he was with the Bears. But we can't really judge a whole lot because they were playing the Dolphins. Both teams went into this at 0-3. So they were at the bottom of the barrel of that AFC division. But yeah, that part worries me. But one name we didn't mention that actually was in on quite a few tackles was Clowney. Clowney got in there and actually started. He was moving pretty good. He didn't play the whole game, obviously, because he still needs to get in football shape. But I was impressed with the fact that Clowney was getting in there and making tackles as quick as he was.
We'll see how that turns out. He looks a little thin. I know they talked about currently he's trying to put on weight because he thinned out in Carolina because they had him dropping off in coverage. He was like the outside linebacker in a 3-4 versus a traditional 4-3 system, which is the Cowboys. So, I thought that was a solid first performance by Jadeveon Clowney. And I think the jury is obviously, to be determined on that. So, but yeah, and the last point I'll make before we go to break real quick here is you're 100% right. And I think we've all been pleasantly surprised in the Cowboys running game. I thought, that's not only a testament to Williams and Miles Sanders and a detriment, a real bad mark on Jaden Blue, by the way, who hasn't been dressed out for any game to this point, been a healthy scratch. So that says what the coaches think about him. I'm just hoping they're trying to do something like, they're saving him to the second half and then he explodes out the gate when everyone else is tired. That's my only thinking that could spin that positively. But I thought Brock Hoffman and Bass at the right guard filling in for Booker and Cooper Beebe did a pretty solid job. And they weren't perfect. They weren't super great, but they were part of an offense who put up 40 points. So that's a pretty solid job. And the running backs averaging, I think, for a good part of that game, averaging over 6 yards a carry. And Dak didn't get, and the Green Bay Packers, that's a beast of a front line, especially on the edges with Micah. Yeah. And Micah got credited for that BS sack in overtime because it was no gain. And then Rashawn Gary ain't nothing to mess with on the other side. I mean, he's a legit pass rushing type guy too. So shout out to the offensive line. I thought they did solid.
The whole offensive line, the whole week, what did we hear? Oh, you're going against Micah. Micah's going to destroy him and all that. But you didn't hear Micah's name till basically that play. Other than everybody swooning over him, you didn't hear his name making very many plays at all. It's up to that one.
Cowboys offensive staff had a great game plan to scheme away from him, to chip him, to make him feel multiple bodies on every snap. So that was awesome by them. All right, we're going to go into a break real quick, but when we get back, we're going to get into these Houston Texans performance from last weekend. They finally got a win. Done enough.
Parents, help your student find their true path with the Berkman Career Assessment. Imagine if you had discovered your true passion right after high school. How much further along would you be in a fulfilling life? Now picture giving that gift to your student. The Berkman Career Assessment is designed to uncover the career paths that align with your student's unique personality, interests, and needs. Don't let them wander through years of uncertainty. Equip them with clarity and confidence to pursue a future where they thrive. Act now. Invest in their purpose with Berkman today at easyleadership.com or email us for a free career checkup.
All right.
Right. Check out easyleadership.com.
All right, the Houston Texans. We always do a segment on the Cowboys, then we come back do a segment on the Houston Texans. We do live in Houston. We in the Houston area, so we like to talk about the local team a little bit as well. They took on the hapless Tennessee Titans with number 1 overall pick Cam Ward. That number 1 pick don't mean jack squat right now because the Texans, who were in offensive woe, I'll just say woeness, whatever. I've lost my train of thought on that sentence. But they pulled off 26-0. I'm sure your beautiful wife Angie was excited, ecstatic that they finally got the win. But I got to be honest, I'm not impressed. by the Houston Texans right now, still, even after this 26-0 skunking. What'd you think?
Well, the Titans are freaking. Look at the little dumpster fire there next to me. That's what they are right now. The Titans are just terrible, terrible. In Charles Barkley voice, terrible. They're terrible. It's so no, I'm not impressed. But this team was supposed to be coming out of the gate having one of the best defenses in the league. They were supposed to be the contender in the AFC to give Buffalo a run and the Chiefs a run for their money. And they're sitting second to last in that division in the AFC South. And it's just, yeah, they should have blown out the Titans because the Titans just are a dumpster fire. They're terrible. Which is, and this is what happens. Sometimes, most people expect rookie quarterbacks now to come in and do things like Daniels did last year, like Dart did last week for the Giants. And everybody expects these rookie quarterbacks to come in and just light it on fire. Well, that's not always the case. You've got a rookie quarterback in the Titans, and he looks it. The game is too fast for him. It hasn't slowed down, and he doesn't have any weapons.
You mentioned these other guys. Jackson Dart has a pretty good defense to support him. All right.
That too.
So name me one other player, just one on the Tennessee Titans.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. So I know you have the number one pick for a reason, right? And you're terrible, but I want to focus on the Texans here. It was 6-0 going into the fourth, right? They get 2 field goals, one in each of the first 2 quarters, nothing. They end up scoring 20 points in the fourth quarter. CJ Stroud has 233 yards, 22 for 28, 2 touchdowns. Their running back Marks ends up with 69 yards and 1 touchdown. I just Dalton Schultz was a no-show at 5 receptions, 30 yards. Nico Collins, was okay. It just, to me, it's just still the offense of the Houston Texans is still a huge question mark. I think their defense is a really, really good defense with Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter. Danielle Hunter is a beast this year. He's even better than he was 2 or 3 years ago with the Vikings. And Stingley is an all-pro cornerback out there. I still have major question marks. Their game upcoming against who they got this week, the Ravens. You got to ask your question: the Texans versus the Ravens. Who needs that win more? The Ravens at 1-4, or the Texans at 1-4 or 1-3, I should say. Both teams are 1-3. Who needs that win more? I think it's the Texans, because I think the Ravens have more talent to dig themselves out of a hole, and the Texans got to figure out their offense against a good opponent. Now, the Ravens' defense has been suspect. It's not the Baltimore Ravens of what you think in the past of these dominating defenses. They are Swiss cheese too. Like, Dallas is the worst. The next has been the Ravens. So if there's a get-right game, and it's sounding like Lamar Jackson may not be in there, so it might be our old buddy Cooper Rush starting for the Ravens. So what are you thinking is going to have to happen this weekend for the Texans to beat the Ravens?
Well, the talk is that the Jackson is not going to be ready. So,
right. So
yeah,
Cooper Rush.
This game's hard to call, man, because I thought the Ravens, with their running game, I'm going to say the Ravens win this game just because they have the best running game out of the two. Yeah, who needs it more? Well, of course, the Texans, to me, need it more. But then you go look at the Ravens. The Ravens are not in an easy division either. So, and the Ravens are expected to make the playoffs every year.
Well, their
Texans-
division ain't all that this year. Like, let's not pretend like the AFC North is all that. Joe Burrow's done, right? The Steelers ain't running away with it, and then you got the Browns. I mean, if there's any team that can dig out of a 1-4 hole, it's got to be the Baltimore Ravens when Lamar Jackson comes back. We all know Cooper Rush can get you a W, but if you want to win this game against the Texans, you got to hand the ball to Derrick Henry 25, 30 times. You got to let King Henry rule over his kingdom on Sunday.
I agree.
But I will say that I think I'm going to go opposite of you. We're giving away a couple of our picks here. You think the Ravens are going to win. I think the Texans are going to win because they have a better quarterback.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you did.
I guess I did because I do. Yeah, when I think about it, I think it's the running game. It's going to come down to the running game, and we know Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush can manage a football game. He's not going to create a lot of turnovers, and he's done that when Dak was out with very little running game when he was with the Cowboys.
Yeah, and yes, we both made that same point. So, but I think the Texans, because they have Stroud, will get it done. I think they'll win this game. I think they need it more, and if they don't get it, I think I don't know about rumors, but maybe rumors start, or D'Amico Ryan starts feeling a little bit of a hot seat, and that's why I think that the Texans will come out and pretty much play desperate, because they got to play desperate, like they have nothing to lose to win.
I was moving past that, going back to the Titans. Did you know that Tyler Lockett and Calvin Ridley play on that team?
I know Calvin Ridley did. I didn't know Tyler Lockett did.
Tyler Lockett's a damn good receiver.
He used to be.
Huh?
He's been in the league like over a decade. He ain't what he used to be.
I know that, but he was still pretty good in Seattle. So,
and Seattle let him go for a reason.
Well, yeah, they didn't want to spend the money. They were going to spend it on the other guy they let go, that Aaron Rodgers is throwing to now.
Come on now.
But yeah, there's a few names on that. I mean, Xavier Woods is on the Titans. I was just looking at who actually played for them because you said, do you know any teams? There's another player named Tony Pollard that plays for the Titans too.
Yeah, that's how great they are. We forgot he played for the Titans.
Yeah. So
let's just move off that. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to go to our second commercial break. We're just getting warmed up here. When we come back, we have the NFL roundabout performances. We got injury news around the league. What teams and things, and I lost my train of thought again. I suck at this. Just roll the damn commercial.
Have you heard of the DISC communication tool? Yes, most people in business have. But there is a new tool out there that is tailored for leadership teams. It is called the DISC Work of Leaders and focuses on 3 main areas: vision, alignment, and execution. This amazing assessment is not just a game changer. It is a business strategy necessity if you want to create sustainability. Let's be honest, a lot of executives spend many hours in HR dealing with people issues, and that happens because of reactive leadership. If you are sitting in HR trying to figure out what happened after the fact, then you are not able to concentrate on running your department or business, and it steals your time. Email us or call. It's free to talk about it and learn how to become proactive in your leadership. Big or small, we have a plan to build on your strengths and an action plan for your challenges. Join Eddie Schedule, our CEO and founder, for a quick video on what a report does for you. Head over to our website and scroll down to see this amazing video of the DISC Work of Leaders tool. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to hearing from you.
All right. Yes, check out Easy Leadership. Definitely, you want to, as you get ready to look at your business, as far as leadership development, as far as creating strategy. A lot of companies right now are getting ready to create their strategic frameworks and things for next year. It would be great if you knew what your people data was and you could create that momentum and vision alignment and execution, just as she said. So check it out. It's free to talk. Give us a call. You know, are we going to talk a little bit more about other games in the NFL?
Did
I
you
guess
not
we are.
listen to my terrible segue? Okay. Before the
Yeah, it
dang
was pretty
commercial,
bad.
I sit there and said, we're going to go around the NFL on our NFL roundabout. Okay. So this is what I work with, people. A co-host who doesn't listen to me.
What
All right.
you work with, you're the one who screwed up the segue.
Well,
You're
you know
like
what?
one of those
Then you
people who
start
get
doing
on a
the
Segway
segues, you
and
jerk.
fall off because you can't keep it going.
Listen, everyone else heard me. By the way, shout out to Dallas Cowboy
Did they?
Chris for tuning in on TikTok. Anyways, yes, NFL Roundabout is our segment now. Okay, you with me? Did you hear me?
Roundabout.
Oh my goodness. All right. Where do you want to start since you're so eager to get to it?
Well, I think we saw a major injury.
So you want to start with the
Tyreek
injury
Hill.
piece?
Tyreek Hill going down with not only a dislocated knee, but multiple tears in his knee. So, you know, to me, Tyreek Hill, for as much as he has these off the field issues and all this
You mean
questions
beating his
about that,
wife?
he is one of the game changers
Kids.
in the NFL. And the fact that he has gone down, and the question is going to be whether he's ever going to play football again. Because with
He'll
all
play
that,
football again because he's got too many child
easy.
support payments. Yeah, I actually think in this situation, Malik Neighbors is a bigger injury. Malik Neighbors torn ACL for the Giants. They get a spark with Jackson Dart, which is where I wanted to start the NFL roundabout, but I was not in the driver's seat there. I think Malik Neighbors is, but I also think this is a little bit of what you put out there kind of comes back your way. Actually, with both these two receivers, karma can be a pain in the rear sometimes, and Malik Neighbors kind of having a bad attitude a lot of the time with the New York Giants the last 2 years. Football guys don't play around is one TikTok video I saw by one former player, and he was saying it about Tyreek Hill too. When you put a lot of bad juju in there, it tends to come back and get you. Obviously, Lamar Jackson's hamstring is a major injury. We mentioned that going up against the Texans. Hopefully that's not a linger, but for such an athletic quarterback, that can be a very scary, dangerous injury. We saw the hamstring tear off the bone with Dak last year, and he wasn't even running. Hopefully, obviously, it's not to that level when it comes to Lamar Jackson. And also the Ravens lost Roquan Smith and Marlon Humphrey off their defense. Like, they're down like 8 starters on that defense. So that's another reason why I think the Texans will win that game. Brock Purdy's still out. We know CD. We know Mike Evans is out as well. Hamstring injury for Tampa Bay. So there's been an exuberant amount of injuries this year, and we've talked about reasons why we think that is, but they just keep piling up. And and don't forget Mike Alt, the tackle for the Chargers. So they've lost both their tackles now for Los Angeles Chargers.
Los Angeles.
So yeah. But I do say, you mentioned Tyreek Hill. Will he play again? I do think he'll play again. I don't think he'll be the player he was. Not only was it torn, but he dislocated the knee as well. So, um, yeah, that's pretty devastating injury right there. Um, but how about Jackson Dart getting it done in the New York Football Giants? What'd you think of his performance despite everything to the contrary?
Well, I think they should have done it sooner and brought him in. Um, because I just think that he brings a little bit he brings a lot more um feistiness, I guess I should say. I don't know how to describe it, but Russell Wilson does what he does, but he's obviously way past his prime. And I think if Dart is going to be your future, you probably should have started off this way. But it's to your point. Chargers had a few injuries going on here, but that's a pretty big win to beat the Chargers. And I mean, if the Giants hadn't won that, they'd be 0-4 and literally no hope of anything, even though they probably don't have any hope of anything as far as the season goes as anyway. But I just think he brings us some fire that they haven't had in a while. We'll see how long that lasts. They've obviously got to play better teams as they go. I mean, the Chargers are a damn good team. It's not saying the Chargers are not a good team, but
That was
we'll see.
that was definitely the upset of the week. I'll say that, in my personal opinion. So yeah, Jackson Dart's performance, and then the Kansas City Chiefs uh, dismantling the Ravens. You know, are the Chiefs back? Or did they find their mojo again? Can they make another run? What do you think? Do you think Andy Reid, Mahomes, Kelsey, and those boys still got another run in them?
Well, they beat the Ravens. Ravens are a good team, but they also beat the Ravens with injuries. And looking at the Chiefs, I don't want to talk about my picks, but no, I don't think they're back. And the reason is I just don't think at least Kelsey to me does not have the same fire, even though he played a little bit better in this game. I still think I still think they are on the downhill slide. And I think actually we're going to see that this week. I think we're going to see a team that they should handle pretty well. I think they're going to have their hands full with the Jaguars.
Yeah. Do I think they're a Super Bowl contending running team? Probably not at this point. But do I think they can compete and ultimately make a get to the playoffs and make a run there? I do. I don't think the Raiders are everything that you thought they were, and the Chargers have some chinks in the armor with some injury, losing both tackles and things of that. I still think your pick of the Chargers winning that division is still solid, but I think the Chiefs probably end up making the playoffs. So yeah, that's any other NFL tidbit, any NFL roundabouts that stood out to you.
Well, a lot of people are making a big deal about the Eagles had zero passing yards in the second half of the game that they won against the Buccaneers, which I was surprised. Obviously, with Evans being banged up, uh, Mayfield does not. Baker does not have his go-to guy to a certain extent. But and I don't like giving the Eagles any love at all. You guys know that. But I'm going to tell you the thing about the Eagles, they just find a way to win. And a lot of people, and I'm a very big critic of Jalen Hurts. just like Eagles fans are a big critic of Dak. But Hurts does what he has to do to win the football game, and he just wins. So that to me is the bottom line. It doesn't matter how you win because this isn't college football. There isn't any ranking system and polls and all that. It is based off win-loss record and what you do in your division of whether you're going to make it to the tournament or not. So the Eagles just win. They're 4-0. So anybody going to sit there and argue that, well, they look ugly in winning? Well, I've seen teams look really ugly and go all the way to the Super Bowl. Go way back to when who was it? I can't even think of it. There's been numerous teams like that had defense. Well, I guess the Ravens are one. They played ugly games, and everybody's like they're on the verge of getting knocked out. There's no way they're going to win, but they would just win. So you can't, and that's probably the thing with the Chiefs too. The Chiefs could turn it around and do what they always do: find a way to win. It may be ugly, but they find a way to win. So,
yeah, maybe. Yeah, the Eagles beating the Bucks the way they did. Yeah, I mean, the Eagles. I just there's nothing about the Eagles that I like saying anything positive about them. Their coach talks smack to Baker Mayfield on the field, and we all know he's a little bit of a douche canoe. So
he looks like a crackhead.
So, and you can't get any more Philly than the name Sirianni and Vic Fangio or whatever their defensive coordinator is. So it's like, I feel like it's the Italian mob that's in place in the Philadelphia Eagles. It's just, I don't know, just something doesn't feel right with them. And we obviously know we don't like the Eagles.
Yeah. The other little tidbit is just Indiana Jones did not look like Indiana Jones in that game against the Rams. He was brought back down to earth and kind of sort of started looking like the old Jones from the Giants. So that was just the only other tidbit. Indiana Jones got smacked.
Yeah, I mean, he was 24 for 33, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Jonathan Taylor didn't get loose either. Yeah, eventually a team was going to really test them as far as a good team, and LA has a really, really good defensive line, especially with that boy Verse. That dude is a next level pass rusher. So I'm interested to see what Indiana does this upcoming week. But all right. Well, let's go ahead and go to our next commercial break. You're listening to On Time Sports Radio. When we're getting back, we're going to talk a little Astros falling short, and we say bye for the last time for a long time to manager B. Boach.
Attention leaders planning your 2025 leadership retreat. Are you about to throw $30,000 to $40,000 out the door on flashy speakers and trendy activities that lose impact in 2 months? Don't waste your budget on short-lived inspiration. Partner with Easy Leadership and harness the DISC work of leaders to gain real data insights into your company's real-world issues. We'll uncover your team's strengths and tackle critical challenges in vision, alignment, and execution, creating a strategic action plan that drives lasting, measurable results. Act now. Contact Easy Leadership at easyleadership.com to invest in leadership that transforms your organization for the long haul.
All right.
Absolutely. I've seen too many businesses blow $30,000, $40,000 in November and December on leadership retreats, and then by January, February, everybody has forgot what they learned. So check it out.
Are you done?
Go ahead.
Oh, thanks. Because I was about to get into the welcome back, all that good stuff, but you just took the reins. So, all right. We're going to shift gears. We are talking baseball now. It doesn't happen a ton on the show. We do it ever so often. We do got the Astros of the evil empire of Texas, and then we got the Texas Rangers, and we'll get to manager B. Boach here in a minute. He's in the kitchen eating a little chicken Alfredo, and
with his bare hands, I'm sure.
I think he had like a Jim Bowie knife or something like that. But so
Jim Bowie, it's Jim Bowie.
you know what I meant. So anyways, the Astros miss the playoffs after being in control of the American League. What is it? Is it still the American League West? I think it is.
Yes.
So,
yes.
In control most of the year, going back and forth with Seattle for the last month, and then they just end up pooping the bed these last couple of weeks. This is your team. You know, you are a traitor to the Rangers, and you went to the Astros side many years ago when they had all the roids of Caminiti and Bagwell and Roger Clemens. You just followed the roid train. So we don't have that anymore in Houston, even though they like to cheat and steal signs. So it's just a cheating franchise of all time.
Oh, give me a damn break. They've won a World Series since then. So shut with the damn cheating bullshit. Everybody got fired and was gone. And
No,
they
they
still
weren't.
came back.
They only fired the manager.
A World Series.
They only punished the manager. The owner wasn't punished. The players weren't punished, and the GM wasn't punished. So don't sit here and say everyone was punished.
God, let it go, Ranger.
I'm just letting you know. It's just one of those things. It's just a simple fact. This is what guilty people do: is they deflect and they try to make excuses for the franchise. So, anyways, can you please stop being a child for a second?
His Rangers.
I know you look like a big fat baby, but stop being one for a second.
Your Rangers never had a chance this year.
Listen.
Never did anything. Weren't even close.
And then now you're thinking a moral victory.
And what did you say at the beginning of the year? Oh, the Rangers are stacked. The Rangers are going to win this. They're going back to the series. Yeah, they went back to the series. Yeah. The series on whatever the hell's showing on Hulu because they're at home on their couch watching it.
And guess who's right next to them? The MFN Astros. So why don't you tell the people? Stop.
My Padres is still there.
Can you please stop? Can you please address the people on why your Astros
are still there?
I'm trying to move forward here. Just roll with me here. Explain to the people why your Astros didn't get the job done. That's what I want to know.
Well, they fell off. Well, let's put it in Boach type language. Well, we didn't hit the ball. We didn't catch the ball. We didn't pitch the ball.
Terrible.
And we didn't score no runs or nothing. I was going out there to strangle a deer with my bare hands and
that was
so
terrible.
yeah, so it's just it came down to where it was just a few games, and unfortunately for us, pitching struggled a little bit down the pike here, and Seattle held on. Seattle was and that was the thing. Both the teams were not consistent. So whoever was able to finish out that last month and stay somewhat consistent was going to take that division, which we wish it was the Astros, but unfortunately, they didn't hold on. But
I said this when the Astros lost to the Rangers in 2023, it's over. It's over. The dynasty years are over for the Astros. It was a great run, and it was a dynasty. I will admit that, whether it was cheating or not. It was a dynasty, okay? But you age out, you lose Kyle Tucker, you lose Alex Bregman. All these guys left. Verlander aged out. Altuve's older. You just and your pitching staff and your bullpen isn't what it used to be. It's over. Astros Nation needs to get that through their head. They were competitive this year. They almost made the playoffs, but almost isn't what Houston people and Houston fans are about when it comes to the Astros. Over the last 7-8 years, I think it's the first time they haven't been in the playoffs since like 2015 or 2018, something like that. It's been a good run, and I'll admit that. But I said this 2 years ago that the dynasty is over. And when Aldalis Garcia hit that home run to finally overcome the Astros in the playoffs for the Texas Rangers, it was almost like the Green Bay Packers kicking the Cowboys' ass 2 years ago as well. So Astros got to figure out what they're going to do. Are they going to rebuild? Are they going to blow it up? And that's what they have to figure out moving forward. They do. You're right. They got to address the pitching staff. And you have Yordan Alvarez. And they had a lot of injuries. So did the Rangers this year. All across Texas in the major sports, ravaged injuries in every sport, from basketball to hockey to NFL to baseball. So ultimately, Astros got to figure out what they're going to do. And I think it's about to go through a decently long rebuild where it's going to be somewhat difficult for them to compete after next season. So I think they'll move off of Altuve, give him a chance to go win somewhere, and you start building around a guy like Yordan Alvarez, or maybe you move off of Yordan Alvarez and try to get as much prospects and people that you can get in the door for him. So, but yeah.
So while we're on this subject, though, I think we had the picks with Pops. I think we should have who's going to be in the World Series now that we're down to the bracket, the playoffs.
Well, we can add that to picks with Pops because I'll have to look up the bracket. So that way I can give somewhat of an educated guess. But well, let's go ahead and move on from baseball back to the gridiron, some college football. How about those Texas Fighting Aggies, baby? Giving it to Auburn. So War Eagle no more. Sorry, Rob Rutledge, my buddy that I was in the Navy with. He is an Auburn guy. But yeah, the Aggies gave it to him. And top 25 was an interesting week. It was a big week last week. So go ahead and give me your impressions of the Aggies game, and then we'll get into a couple of the other performances.
No, I think it's Auburn's always been a tough team. And pretty much anybody in that SEC South is going to give you a run for your money. I mean, I think we got Mississippi State this week. So that's not a give me game either. But as I said, I think the Aggies got something going. Getting Moss back was huge for them in this game because he just brings he can get you 8-9 yards even when they've got the line stacked. He just allows you to do this, and the Aggies they're doing something that we haven't seen the last few years. They're finishing games. In the last few years, we've seen them, they would start off fast and you think, oh, they're going to dominate this game. And then by the fourth quarter rolled around, all of a sudden they started making mistakes and they would find a way to lose big games. But this year, to coach's credit and to the team's credit, they are maintaining that fire through the fourth quarter. They continue to fight. And what I love about Reed is at quarterback this year, he looks comfortable. He looks in control. Even when things are breaking down, he manages to keep his eyes downfield. So this team, just to me, and the defense has just been phenomenal. So the Aggies, I'm glad to see they've moved up to number 6. I think they definitely deserve that, but they got to keep it going. Like I said, they got Mississippi State coming into town. I think I think they'll win that pretty easily since it's in College Station. But yeah, I'm happy with our team this year because we're finishing the games, and that's something we haven't had in a while. I mean, we haven't started 4-0 since what 2016, I think it is. So it's
Yeah,
been a
I
while
think
coming.
ultimately the biggest difference is you have a dynamic quarterback that can make plays. And you're right, the defense has been pretty staunch. I mean, they gave up 10 points to Auburn. So big performance by the Aggies there, and very happy for it. Like you mentioned, 4-0 for the first time in almost a decade, sixth in the country, and it's taken a little while for the Aggies to show up in SEC play, but this seems to be the year. And after spending ungodly amounts of money on certain coaches and things like that, seems like they found the right one and got the right balance to go in there and take care of business. I thought I have two really standout games to me other than the Aggies was Oregon going to Penn State and taking care of Penn State. Penn State was your national championship pick, or at least one of them, or close to the top. They go down. They're now number 7 in the country to Oregon, 30-24. The whiteout did not seem to have that big effect on the Oregon Ducks. The Oregon Ducks look legitimate this year. They might be a national championship winner. I think they are. I don't think they're the same old soft Ducks once they get to the playoffs. I think they're going to make some noise. What were your thoughts on the Penn State Oregon game?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was still a fairly close game, but yeah, I mean, Oregon just is able to move down the field with that high flying offense. And it doesn't hurt that they have one of the better quarterbacks in the land running that thing. So I really thought Penn State would hold on since it was at Penn State, but these are those type of games you get every year that it's like, how the hell did that happen? And which I'm sure is what LSU is thinking after this week. But okay, so I'll transition to that.
I was looking
LSU
at the game. Okay, I found it, Eric. I found it. Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I had it pulled up and I couldn't. My eyes were going cross-eyed. I was looking at the Alabama-Georgia game because that was the only other one I want to talk about. But yeah, LSU losing to Ole Miss. How many lives does Lane Kiffin have?
I don't know.
But they're 4th in the country. Who saw that coming? Ole Miss. I mean, they look pretty damn impressive down there in Mississippi. So I'm sure Eli Manning is happy. And but yeah, you're right. The Go Tigers did not go in that game. They got utterly. I'm not going to say dominated because it was 24-19 was the final, but Ole Miss looked like they belong. I'll say that. So.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they are ranked 4th in the country, and they deserve every bit of that. So they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. And yeah, LSU, it's they're another one that there's a lot expected of them, but for the last few years, they just have seen a way to knock themselves out of it. And it's games like this that happen to them. And so, yeah, I was just looking at who they've got, but yeah, Ole Miss is definitely, I think we're going to
They're going to
see,
be a force to
this
reckon
might
with.
be,
And like
Ole
I
Miss will,
said, the
go
other
ahead.
game that I thought was obviously an upset was Alabama beating Georgia at Georgia.
Yeah.
Pete DeBoer getting it done there, and those boys. So pretty impressive by the Crimson Tide. We all know what machine that Nick Saban turned them in. They've been down since he's been gone, and they seem to be back on the uptick. I mean, there were some people after I think it was week one, because I believe Alabama lost their first game, starting to call for Pete DeBoer's head already, or it may have been their second game. I'm not sure which one, but so Alabama looks like they're back, maybe being Alabama. They look like they got a legitimate quarterback. So go ahead and give your impressions of that, and then I'm going to give you the screen here real quick because I just realized someone is still eating in my kitchen.
Who that could be? It's probably in there strangling deers with his bare hands. Yeah. But yeah, Alabama beating Georgia was huge. Obviously Georgia is always one that comes into the year as a favorite to win the national championship until something changes, which could have been this game as they dropped to number 12, Alabama moving to 10. We've got some delightfully so new teams rounding out the top 10 with you've got Ole Miss up there, and now you've got A&M up there. You even have Indiana.
Hello.
Is another team that has got, oh, what the hell is this? Okay, I do believe this is supposed to be Boach is already down in the Caribbean. Yeah, we don't need all that. But okay, so yeah, this should be interesting. All right, Coach. So no more. We're going to throw the ball, pitch the ball, catch the ball. So what's going on in your world now that the season is over?
No. Yeah, I've left the Texas Rangers. I think I'm going to retire. Even though I am talking to Buster Posey with the San Francisco Giants. He's the GM out there. I used to coach him, and he's thinking about bringing me on in some capacity just so I can have a salary, basically, to live comfortably, especially if I'm going to go to California. We all know how high taxes are there, and they don't take too kindly to strangling deer. So I need some little cash flow for my legal fees, if you know what I mean. But yeah, no more throwing the ball, hitting the ball, catching the ball. It's more like I tell my wife to, well, she does something else with a ball, but you know what I mean. But yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. It's so as you look back on your career, if it is coming to an end, what's going to be some of your happiest moments you think back on? Was it winning with the Rangers? Was it winning with other teams? What was some of your biggest moments looking back?
There was this one time in San Diego. I was in San Diego for a long time, and
Yep.
went to this bar called Coyote Ugly, and they were doing this Devil Went Down to Georgia dance on the bar, and I kid you not, I can't even tell you. I really don't know what. I can't tell. Is this a family show?
Somewhat, yes.
Oh, well, let's just say they won't even do the things those women did in the Philippines.
Okay. Well, all right. Yeah, we'll just cut it off there.
But you're right. I am in the Caribbean already. I'm enjoying life. Well, I did fly back up here to Houston to be on the show one final time because y'all are my favorite.
Houston is not considered the Caribbean.
I'm there. I already got a tan. But
I noticed it's a farmer's tan though.
Well, yes, it is. But I plan on getting a little senorita tattoo and
Singing Love Margaritaville.
Yes, avoiding stepping on pop tops, but and I plan on having a pina colada, one in each hand, and ultimately, hopefully I don't get caught in the rain either.
Oh, get caught in the rain. Okay, yeah, I know where you're going with that. Okay, little ageless stuff there. So,
Yeah, I like to set sail with Captain Morgan and never leave dry land.
okay, and so do you do a little karaoke there, Coach?
Well, when I do my little singing bits, I obviously can't do Mariah Carey or Whitney Houston, but I will do a little boy.
Whoa! Hold time out, Coach. Mariah Carey.
No, I said I can't do Mariah Carey.
Oh, can't do. I thought you said I was fixing to say we're gonna have to hear this. So,
but
it's
I
whether
do a little Boys to Men from time to time. A little baby face. I love this song, Tender Lover.
All right. So we need to hear a little of that.
Well,
Then, if we're gonna do,
it goes a little something like this, something about the, I'm all, well, you put me on the spot. I can't perform like the Rangers this year. Anyone got a Blue Chew around here?
you just break out with the Blue Chew. So maybe it's just we gotta sing bye bye bye.
Oh yeah, I got a flight to catch. Chris Young, the GM of the Rangers, did give me access to the team plane for the next 48 hours. So I'm about to go see if I can get lost in the Bermuda Triangle, and maybe I won't need a job. I may just disappear forever. But I will say, I think those iguanas in the Caribbean would make a good belt. So I'm on the hunt for some iguanas and banana rats. Just letting you know.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you letting me know because I was
by the way, chicken Alfredo and there is none left. I ate it all. So if you're going to come over and have some, it was delicious, and I ate it with my hand carved fork that I carved out of the redwood forest on a darkness retreat in my loincloth.
I was really hoping we would not hear the loincloth thing again, but there you have it. Coach Boach is gone from the Rangers now. And he is moving on to bigger and better things in the Caribbean. So we'll see how that goes if he ends up back in baseball. I wouldn't doubt it because I don't know if he knows anything else except to, besides the killing of deers and things with his bare hands and things like that. But okay, well, there you have it.
So sad to see him go.
Huh?
I'm just sad to see him go. He's such a good guy, a man's man, and ultimately, I'm gonna get a little choked up.
I just see him and Dusty Baker sitting out there in the Caribbean drinking Coronas and saying, "You know what? Ain't nobody as good as we were." Nope, that's true.
Pretty much. All right, let's move forward before we get new versus old. Gotta speed these along, but picks with pops. We didn't do it last week because yours truly was sickly. So 21 games. So we picked 3 weeks. The old man made up some ground to a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
14-7 that I am. I went whopping 2-5 2 weeks ago, and while you went 4-3. So you can see which ones we missed a couple weeks ago. But so let's get started with this week. We always pick the NFC East as well as the Houston Texans, and then we do a wild card for a total of 7. And if the NFC East is playing together, we'll have a few more wild cards. So let's go and start off with the NFC East. The Dallas Cowboys taking on the New York Football Jets, Jets, Jets. With that being said, I'm picking the Dallas Cowboys. Old man, who you got?
Yeah, I have to go with the Cowboys. I think their offense is just the Jets are going to have to score 30 or 40 points, which is possible, but not going to happen. I think the Cowboys will win this game.
Okay, you got the Screaming Eagles versus the Broncos and Sean Payton and Bo Nix and those boys. I'm going to let you go first on this one. Who you got, Philly or Denver?
I think Philly finally loses their first game because I just think that Denver is one of those teams in one of the toughest divisions in football, if not the toughest division in football. So I think the Eagles go down this week, and that's not being a homer. I just think Denver has the tools to beat them.
Maybe you should have the Jesus hat on because you're reading my mind like the Lord above. Yeah, I'm going with Broncos as well. I just think it's time for the Eagles. I think they get this loss and then it kind of projects and wakes them back up, and then they go on a run again. All right, we got Jackson Dart and his magic. He was throwing darts all over the field. Actually, he wasn't. He only threw it for like 100-something yards. Going against the New Orleans Saints and Kellen Moore, your favorite offensive coordinator of all time. I'll go first on this one. I think the Giants' magic continues. I think they're riding high, even though they lost Malik Neighbors. I think they got a little something going in New York. That defense is pretty stout, and the Saints are inept. So I'm going New York Football Giants.
Well, we agree again because the Saints are definitely a dumpster fire. So, yeah, I think the Giants do win this game because the Saints are just not very good right now, and I don't think they got the right coach. Nope, not at it.
All right. The last game within the division is Commanders versus the Chargers. I believe Jaden Daniels will be back. I haven't seen anything officially. The rumor, I thought I saw he was going to be back. Yeah, you're up first on this one.
San Diego Superchargers. I think Chargers win this game because if I'm not mistaken, it's in LA, right?
I think so.
Yes, it's in LA, and yeah, I just think the Chargers. Yeah, they had a little hiccup this week, but I think they're too strong. I think they take out the stupidest name football team, the Commanders.
I am going to take the Washington Redskins here. Jaden Daniels is planning on being back. Yes, I know I said it. Just because I felt like it. But yes, the Commanders over the Chargers. I'm taking that one. All right, let's get our Texans versus the Ravens. I believe we've pretty much already predicted that. You got the Ravens. I got the Texans.
You're wrong. Wrong. I think it's going to be the Texans. I picked the Texans also because I just think the Ravens are decimated.
All right, so we got 2 wild cards. I'll go with my first wild card. It may be the same, may be different. We don't talk about these beforehand. I need some W's, so I got to be honest. I picked a couple obvious ones, I think. I went Lions over Bengals.
Really reaching out there.
Told you I need some W's.
Bunch of Tigers fighting. All right.
Bengals.
Well, I'm going to the well, then you get a Liger when they mate. But I'm going to go with Baker and the Mayfield. Even though Evans is still hurt, I think they take out the Seahawks. So Tampa Bay.
You need to get you like a Buccaneer hat because you're riding
Yes.
Tampa Bay like you rode the Vikings last year.
Yes, yes.
I can't believe you're not going for your boy Sam Darnold in Seattle. All right, my second game is the Titans versus the Cardinals, and I got the Cardinals because the Titans are just that horrible.
Just an easy one. Well, I'm going to pick it. To me, it's probably going to be an upset for a lot of people, but I don't think it is. I think the Jaguars take down the Chiefs in Kansas City.
All right,
Big
that definitely would be an upset for sure. All right. All right. We got a couple segments here to finish it off. A new one for the old man. Let me remove this. I call this new versus old. I'm probably going to do this around different leagues and different, but I want to stick with the Texas teams starting off. And we all know me and the old man is kind of new school versus old school, even though I'm probably more old school than most people think. But I'm going to throw up some logos here from the Texas teams, and I want you to pick which one's your favorite. It's that simple. No tricks, nothing crazy in here. So we're going to start with the Dallas Stars. Which logo is your favorite Dallas Star logo?
If we were picking jerseys, that would be easy. I'm going to go with the one that won them Stanley Cup.
So 94
which is
2013.
2013. Yes, I like that one.
You know, I have to say, I do love those jerseys of that time. So if you're going with jerseys, I would definitely pick that. But I like the current one. I'm going new school on this one. I'm going 2021 to present. I love the green in it. It's simple. It's it's basically the same as the one previous. It just went with a lighter green, but I like the lighter green. Kind of gets back a little to the. It's not quite the North Stars green, but I like it. I'm just gonna say that. So, all right, let's remove that one. This one's pretty easy. There's only been 2 logos for the Dallas Cowboys. Which one do you like better? I'm going to the current one, but
Well, yeah, the current one is obviously more visually pleasing than just a star. What it looked like, even though on the uniform and the helmet, that plain star looks pretty good back then.
with
When
the
they do the throwback.
throwbacks with that star look really good. All right, let's go. Houston Rockets, new school or old school or middle school maybe here.
Yeah, I like the 95 to 03 with the actual rocket, the basketball. I like that one.
That's the ugliest one.
That is not the ugliest one. The one from 71, 72, the ugliest one.
All right, well that
looks like Little Caesar. That looks like pizza. Caesar's Pizza.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Yeah, that's what that looks like.
I mean, the ugliest is it's one of those first 2, but out of the next 4, the 95-03 one is terrible. I'm going 72-95. I think that's the best one. So I guess you say I'm old school on this one. You're somewhat, I call yours middle school, but yeah, I can't stand that Rockets logo from 95 to 03. I think it's absolutely atrocious. Ugh, gross. All right, let's go. Your Houston Astros. or once upon a time called the Colt 45s, which I'm going to be honest, I kind of like the Colt 45 one, even though.
Yeah, unfortunately, that wouldn't be very PC nowadays. So I'm the present one is the one I like. I like the H and the star, Houston Astros. I like that one.
You know, I thought you were going to go with 2000 to 2012 because you had that on your background for a long time. But I have to agree with you on this one. I think the new one looks the best. It's a little bit of a mix of the 65 through 93. Those two kind of mix that with a modern flair. So I agree with you. I like that. All right. How about your San Antonio Spurs?
The old chaparrals. I have to go with 2002, 2017. That's the one I like.
I'm kind of partial to the one right before that. I got to be honest. Yeah, I
although that road runner with the basketball is pretty sweet.
Well, yeah. I mean, it is definitely an interesting one, right? Oh my goodness. The chaparrals. You know, you remember we used to do we would use the chaparrals when for our staff game, the Flint Tropics and the chaparrals, which I think were originally in Dallas, if I'm not mistaken. Am I wrong on that?
Yes, they were. They were.
All right. All right. Let's go Dallas Mavericks. 80 to 92, 93 to 2001, and then 2017. To me, the 2001, 2017 now doesn't look any different at all. But
no, I don't see where the difference is. But I'm going old school. I like the 1980 one. To me, that was more of a maverick than a horse. I still don't get the horse.
a Maverick is a horse.
Maverick was a pilot in the Navy.
Well, I know what, yeah, but this isn't the United States Navy. Anyway, I just like the color scheme better with the old school and giving a little extra flair around the letters there with the 1980s. So I agree with you on that one. So I like that one. All right. Holy crap. We're going long today. So let's go ahead and move on. Making the most of your moment. What do you got?
Well, okay, let me get this keyed up here. I've done lost the
For those who don't
webpage.
know, the old man does a making the most of your moment somewhere in the sports world or around. He never takes my suggestions, which would half the time be better, but you know, is what it is. Yeah.
Okay, so
real quick.
let me get it up here. Now this is courtesy. I want to make sure I do this so they don't. It's courtesy of TikTok and the Pat McPhee show. This was before the Penn State game.
Pat McAfee.
And yeah, Pat McAfee. Oh wait, I almost turned off my camera here. Hang on, I gotta share my screen. Let me bring it up here. And I'll let the sound go because we are giving full credit, but it will explain it. Or let me just set it up. Beforehand, there was
in a Speedo.
it was a raffle for kicking. So I'll let it go from there. So here we go. Hopefully you can hear this.
You won the raffle, and you said, I don't want to kick because I suck at kicking. Is that accurate?
More or less.
How did you land on my man here? What are your hopes in him?
I was looking around. I saw my man. He said he plays soccer. And I was like, this is my guy right here. My guy Carson. I have faith in him, so I know he's going to get it done.
Have you ever kicked a ball before?
Not football, soccer.
Hopefully you're terrible at this. It's $100,000. Are you guys splitting that 50-50?
Yes, sir.
So we'll make it $300,000. $150,000 for both of you. Okay? You only get one kick, though.
And he nails it.
Where are these moments? Where are these moments when I was growing up?
Carson, congratulations.
So there we go. Making the most of your moment with, I mean, the pressure. Just imagine the pressure. 300 grand. And he picked somebody random out of the audience just because the guy said he played soccer. And the guy's never kicked a football before for 300,000. Well, each one of them got 150. So that is making the most of your moment.
That's a pretty good one. I'll give you that one. I don't think any of my suggestions would have topped that one this week. But all right, let's get into our final segment, sports tidbits, randoms, and whiskey of the week. My sports tidbits. No one on this show is under any illusions. I got a lot of love for LeBron James. All right. And I'm trying to be better in my life. You see me wearing the Jesus, my Jesus hat. And so I'm trying to be a good Christian man when I talk about LeBron James. But I can't stand the guy. I'm sorry. I can't stand him. He missed today's or yesterday's training camp practice because of nerve irritation. I don't even know what the hell nerve irritation is, but I know you're irritated.
You are to me.
Get on my nerves.
That's what you are to me.
Yeah, well,
you're a nerve irritation.
But the funny part is, he was seen at a birthday party the same time practice was going on. What the heck is going on? Like, nerve irritation. First off, it's a bullcrap excuse to miss practice. And I don't know. I just think it's utter ridiculousness. And then the other tidbit I had was, did you see Shedeur Sanders, his interview with the reporters after Dylan Gabriel was named, and he just mouthing words, he's not making any sound? Shedeur, be better, man. That's total horse manure, and it's not a good look. It's terrible. Terrible.
Absolutely.
And,
all right.
I hope Dylan Gabriel does amazing and you never see the field. I'm at that point. Like I was kind of secretly rooting for him because his dad is on my wall back here, and he's my favorite football player of all time. But Shedeur has ruined it for me. That's all I got to say about that. And those are my sports tidbits from the sports world. You got any you got to add in there?
You know what I'm bringing.
We already talked about it.
So we have not talked about the WNBA.
Yes, we did at the very start of
I was going to talk about it, but this team is America's team of the WNBA. I want you to notice how many people are not wearing uniforms. It's because that's how many people are hurt on this team. And they battled last night in Game 5, took it to overtime against the Las Vegas Aces, who have not only the league MVP on that team, but have multiple championships. This team, they had their star player go down in this game that was left. Her leg, they almost took her off on a gurney, but they managed to get her to the locker room by carrying her. And then they also lost Boston, who fouled out, who was their leading scorer up the middle in the post. But this team battled all year long, and they put butts in the stands. They gained so many fans and helped the WNBA. Last year was all about Caitlin Clark, but this year it was about this coach and this team. Yes, they didn't finish the job, but man, when they get these players back that they were missing, especially Caitlin Clark, then this is going to be someone to be reckoned with. They were not expected to be here. They were barely hanging on during the year. They got in the playoffs and they just lit it on fire. So for me, this is the sports story of the week. And that's my sport tidbit. Yeah. So, ladies, I'm giving you some love. And Mr. Hypocrite down there in that little window last year was the one. He's like, oh, yeah, WNBA, should they be getting more or whatever? And I was like, no, I don't even pay attention. But they've won me over, even though they haven't won Mr. Jesus out there over yet. It's actually pretty good basketball to watch. You know, a bunch of dunks and a
It
bunch.
used to be good. It's not good anymore.
You haven't even watched it over the past 2 months, so all you've seen is the highlights of the bull crap that's going on.
And that's enough for me not to tune in.
Okay, well, there you go.
So I don't know. But I do have another sports tidbit before we get to whiskey of the week is the Ryder Cup team. We got every 2 years the Ryder Cup happens. I haven't been super into the Ryder Cup. I've watched a few years here and there. Team USA getting smacked the first 2 days and ultimately coming back and making it a hell of a run to, basically almost make the comeback possible was pretty incredible to watch. Seeing Justin Thomas and Cam Young hit their birdie putts on 18 to win theirs. DeChambeau coming back from 5 down, 5 holes down to have his point. And then they had a couple more win their matches, and then Lowry ends up winning his match or having his match or something like that, and they end up retaining the and winning the cup. So pretty cool to watch. Interesting to see what happens in 2 years when we go back to Europe. I will say there were some fans that may have went over the line with some of the European players. I think some of those fans need to be better. Maybe a little too drinky, made them a little too bold. But yeah. So, all right. Tonight, this week's whiskey of the week, I'm bringing one back because I want to give us some love in honor of our Texas A&M Aggies victory bonfire right here. It is distilled in College Station, Texas. So founded by Aggies for Aggies. So yeah, symbolize their label says symbolize the respect, loyal, and excellent service, leadership, integrity, and indicates that you have selfless commitment to others. So shout out to Bonfire Whiskey. It is tasty. It's not too bad. It's what I had in my cup tonight. So Bonfire Bourbon Whiskey. All right, folks. I think that is pretty much it. We went a little long today. The old man went on a little tirade. Also came to our own show a little late. That's completely my fault. I was doing some things, learning how to use Restream and testing it out. So shout out to those who watched us on TikTok for the first time. So that'll be in our repertoire moving forward. So yes, you can find us on YouTube, TikTok, X. You see them all on the bottom there, going across the screen. So follow us, like us, share, comment. If y'all watching during the show, feel free to throw some comments in there. And we appreciate y'all for watching, supporting, and we'll be back next week, going into Columbus Day weekend. Little brother's flying in town. We're going to play a little golf. Me and the old man played some golf this weekend where I completely obliterated him. But caveat, it was his first time playing in like forever. So, and so, yeah. So I didn't take too much joy in that one, to be honest. It was a little too easy. But
okay, well, there you have it. Finished on a positive note. So, have a great rest of the week, folks.
All right, we're out of here. Peace. We love y'all.
Nah.